Good evening, everybody. Good evening indeed, and welcome to another round, well, another season of the Sim Stickers Simracersworld Formula 3 series. I am so excited to be back. One of my very favourite leagues in all of sim racing gets underway once again this evening. We have heat racing in Formula 3 cars. It's a concoction that nobody would really think would work, but my God, does it. It is phenomenal stuff. Chaz Draycott here in the commentary box for this amazing championship. And what a place to start as well. Mount Panorama, lovingly known as Bathurst. We were here on Tuesday night in the Simracersworld TCR series, and we had a hell of an evening then as well. Looking forward to seeing what these much more aero-dependent cars can do around here. We've got a lot of very feisty drivers, all excited about getting back out there and cracking on with their championship. Qualifying is just underway at the moment, and just going to the top is Arthur Fry, who, from being a privateer last season, is now in a team. And what a team name it is, Fat Send Engineering. He does have a teammate as well, which is Sammy Venables. But Arthur Fry was very quick last season. He's got a good choice in race number as well, number 22. Reigning champions back though, Adrian Falcon, the Spanish Inquisition. He's absolutely flying. He's wearing the number 1 as well, wearing it with pride. I absolutely love that. One of my favourite things in motorsport is when drivers come back the following season with the number 1 on the car, showing that they are not one to be messed with. We've got Bart Daleman back out there in a very interesting team. Of course, Sim Stickers doing a wonderful job partnering up with Simracersworld for not just this championship, but a number of events now. We have Sim Stickers Simracersworld as the team that Bart is driving for. Tim Rutten makes a return for Simracersworld Esports. We've also got the Fiercely Forward boys. Kevin Zemstra is out there. We also have Ronald Moons racing for Flemish Sim Sports. Taylor Lane, your reigning Academy class champion for Fiercely Forward GSI for Gomez Sim Industries, I believe it is. Who else do we have? We have the Quantum Racing team. John Barnes joins John Tusting from last season. Now, I apologise to John because his spec map and livery seemed to be all wrong on my PC last season. We've got Ryan James from Team Down Under. Now, judging off that team name, I think he's probably going to have a very interesting evening. We will have a few names, such as this one, that don't quite work early on, so we will get them fixed, as you'll see now. Oh no, still thinks he's called James. Very interesting. Not quite sure why it's doing that at all, but we'll see, shall we? We'll see. Let's see if this fixes it. Here we go. It's the first Chaz technical issue of the season. There you go. Boom. Nailed it. Right then. Who else can we look at? Alex Jonsson. He seems to be very fast now. He races for Team Alcantech Simulation NHR Esports. Now, I did some media work for these guys quite a while ago at the start of 2020. It was the first piece of work I did all year. And it was just a set of screenshots for their wonderful looking Formula 3, Formula Renault 3.5 Porsche Cup cars. Oh, just great livery. Fantastic looking bit of kit. Here's one of the... Oh, not in best condition. Oh, heck. That's one of the Fiercely Forward GSI machines. Jaco van der Plat. Ashley Beard is out there in the Altitude XZ Esports team. A combination of XZ Esports and Altitude Esports. XZ Esports, I believe... Phil Reagan is the team that I recognise from that. He is racing in this championship. I mistook Phil Reagan for still being part of Year 1 very recently, so apologies, Phil, but what a livery on that car. James Forsyth back out there this season. We've got Ross Nicholson back once again. I've commentated on Ross a number of times recently, and he still has no luck on his side. A new driver for Simracersworld Esports, which is Mia Kurisis. That's the name I'm going to go with for now until I'm corrected on that. Hans Polmans is back. Hansy. We know that he's got a lot of fans in the chat. We are going to re-download some of these paints though, because that to me is missing a spec map. So fingers crossed it sorts it. Who else? Nick Sherman's Simracersworld F3 Academy, the number 69 machine. Brian Loynes, he's back out there. We've also got Matthew Crisp as well for Fiercely Forward, who's making another appearance. I've just been asked to open a pot of salsa. There you go. Not quite how I expected the season to start, but there we go. Ryan James has moved up to 4th place at the moment in the number 55 machine. For Team Down Under, he's not really under many drivers at the moment, but it is your reigning champion, Adrian Falcon, that is leading the way currently. We'll go on board for a moment with Adrian, so you can just see the pace that these cars do around here. It is wonderful, a sight to behold. Look at this down the Conrod Straight. It sounds like the car's bottoming out as well, and you know what? I wouldn't put it past them. I think it may be. It may genuinely be bottoming out down there, just because of all the bumps. Intriguing to know whether it actually is now into the final corner. Very, very difficult corner to get right time after time. Just feels like the car wants to break away every single time you go around there. Into Hell corner. Very difficult to get this right as well. I don't know what it is, but as soon as you go round that last corner and first corner, they just feel so understeery. Up the hill towards Quarry. Another corner where the car just wants to break away from you. Look at that. You can see there's a bump and then the car just sits in. Jess Myers in the chat. Good to see you, Jess. Hope you're well. This is a very strange looking TCR car, but Adrian Falcon giving us a good guide around Bathurst at the moment. Up over the top of the hill, through McPhillamy Park. Such confidence in these cars through here. And then down towards Skyline. So the format of the evening then, I'll try and explain this as best I can. This qualifying session is overall, there will be 2 heats, which will be all of the drivers that qualified in an odd numbered position in the first heat, and all the drivers that finished in an even numbered position in the second heat. The top 8 from both of those heats go through, so we have 16 cars through to the feature. We then have a consolation race that's a little bit longer than the heats for all the drivers that finished outside the top 8 in their respective heats. The top 8 of that will go through, and the grid will be determined by their heats, basically, odd numbers and even numbers. Those 8 positions will make up the last 8 on the grid of the feature, so they will not be put into odd and even positions. They will just be plonked on the back of the grid in their finishing position, or their finishing order, I should say, with the feature race grid sorted by odds and evens once again. And we've got Bart Daleman, who did his fastest lap last time round. He's still just over a quarter of a second back off Adrian Falcon. But it's fantastic to be back, isn't it, everybody? It really is. Can't wait to see what everybody makes this. It is one hell of a venue to start the season with. But I think it's probably one of the best places. It's really going to throw up potentially some different results to what we can expect over the season. But also it's going to make sure that the drivers really do focus and crack on straight away. Here's the Fiercely Forward GSI car of Taylor Lane. Taylor, good mate of mine for many years now. We've raced together at Beast Racing, run by iRacing's own Drew Adamson. And we've raced in many different leagues together as well. He's a very funny lad. And we've had many, many evenings giggling away in the sim. We've got Khan Newen, who is back on the grid, SCCR by Delta Sport. We've also got Craig Schill, who races in the Simracersworld TCR series for iRacing UK. Who else have we not seen yet? Ben White for Eclipse Racing. We have Harrison Melvin for Eclipse Racing. Robbie Carenduff for SimFX Racing. Josh Clogg is back for Fiercely Forward. Exodus Racing, of course, Adrian Falcon and Victor Belea Centelles, but we also have their teammate, Mark Elviota, the Spaniard. And that pretty much covers everybody that's on the grid. I can't really see anybody we've not looked at yet. A bit further down, actually, we've got Elizabeth Rodriguez, the privateer. Adam Oshiawala for SCCR by Delta Sport. Philip Russell, Greg Parmenter is back as well. John McConville for Simracersworld Esports. A very interesting striped airbox on that Formula 3 car. I believe qualifying will be over very, very shortly. It probably would help if we could see the full session time. There you go, so it will be over very shortly indeed. So not long to go now. John just trying to wring the neck of that little Dallara. Through Forest Elbow, back on the power. That wall really creeps up on you on the right-hand side. And someone else that just creeps up on you. Well, he's creeping at the moment. Brian Loynes, he was very, very quick last season. Done a smashing job. Another lad that's very quick all the time is Ross Nicholson, but honestly, he just never has any luck on his side. And as you can see, because we're in heat racing, or a heat racing format this evening, that is it. Qualifying ends as soon as it ticks to 0. So Adrian Falcon, your reigning champion, is alongside Arthur Fry for the first heat, with Ryan James and Kevin Zemstra on row 2, with James Forsyke and Josh Clogg making up row 3. We then have Robbie Carenduff with Ross Nicholson, followed by Jacco van der Plat and Ben Hoffman. It's then Ashley Beard and Silas Krag-Vrolik on the 6th row of the grid, with Vic de Blick in 13th ahead of Daniele Giudici. We then have Wayne Palmer and Matisse Groen, with Elizabeth Rodriguez alongside Paul Godden. Then we have Adam Oshiwala. Apologies, Adam, if I've got that wrong. Please do let me know. Greg Parmenter is 20th, and Carl Newen is 21st. So the track nice and clear now. We're going to get the cars at the very front of the grid lining up. There's Ryan James for Team Down Under. I'm intrigued to see how he gets on here. And it will be 8 cars that go through to the feature, I believe, Mark, unless Bart's changed that rule and not told me. But I think it's 8 from this one, 8 from the second heat, and then 8 from the Consolation. Hendrik de Grave, good to see you, mate. Hansi in the chat. It's very, very quiet at the moment as we wait for Arthur Fry to take to the grid. He should just pop up on the left just now. There he is. That livery looks fantastic. Doesn't the back of it, the rear wing, look like an old HSBC logo on an old Jaguar from Formula 1? There's a throwback. Anyway, the SimStickers Simracersworld Formula 3 Series Season 3 is underway, and it didn't look like the most comprehensive start from Adrian Falcon. Looked like a good one from Ryan James. Manages to hold on to 3rd place. A little bit of side-by-side stuff further down the order, but nothing untoward as yet. But Josh Clogg has got a big gap behind him now. He's at the back of this train, but look at this from Arthur Fry. Straight on the attack, and same with Kevin Zemstra as they go over the top of the hill. They're all weaving around a little bit. It's getting close in the background there. Who is that? Is that Silas? It is indeed. Look at this. Very close indeed. In the middle of it is Ashley Beard. The number 95 goes past Silas Krag-Vrolik. Good stuff indeed. Look at them all just flying up the hill. You've got to love it. But, well, already it looks like Adrian Falcon is trying to make a breakaway here. The battle is on for 2nd place. 22 against 55 on board with Ryan James. It's scary watching these sorts of cars go down here. They are so, so fast. A little bit more sensitive to damage though, so you can't just scrape the wall and get away with it like they could on Tuesday night in the TCR cars. On the power. Oh, and that's what I mean. Ryan James gives the wall a little kiss there, lets him know that he's definitely turned up. And we've got a little battle here going on between, well, it's sort of interstable battle. It's Ben Hoffman in XZ Racing just in front of Ashley Beard in the Altitude XZ Esports machine. And look at this from Silas Krag-Vrolik. Is he going to have the pair of them in the Fiercely Forward GSI machine? Side by side into the chase. Doesn't look like Silas is going to get it yet. He's following very closely. Oh, there's contact. And around goes Hoffman. Maybe following a bit too closely for his own good. Arthur Fry, by the way, has taken the lead. Oh, and James has gone in the wall. Or was that? No, it was Josh Clogg's off as well. Ryan James has gone in the wall. Where's Adrian Falcon? In all of that, I lost Falcon. Let's have a look. Oh, that's loud. So Adrian is fighting side by side with Arthur Fry Oh, and there's a little bit of the word we're not going to say between the two of them. And then Ryan James makes a real hash of it out of the final corner, clips the grass, into the wall he goes. What happened also to Josh Clogg? He's already off at this point. Let's see if we can find it again. I'll turn that down. Oh, he's just locked it up well too hot, and oh, Joshy boy. That's going to be painful. I'm sorry for how loud that swooping noise is. We will sort that out. We do have a component for that, which I'm just going to sort out in the overlay. But wow, opening lap seemed like it was all nice and calm, and then no, Chaz, do not get led into a false sense of security with that. Here's Silas, but that's massive drama then for your championship, well, your reigning champion. Oh, Adrian spun it again on the pit exit. Wow, I think this may be the first time he doesn't get through to a feature on his first attempt. Well. Can you believe it? Here's Elizabeth Rodriguez in the Privateer F3 car. I love the fact that it's just plain white as well. That really does play to my OCD with, you know, if you are a Privateer in motorsport with no sponsors or logos all over the cars. I absolutely love that. Paul Godden for SimStickers Racing has just gone through, but that seems to be the... I know what event that's from, and that's definitely not this one, it seems. Tell you what, excuse me for just a moment, you'll see this. Now, if you've ever wondered how to do the hide car numbers thing in iRacing, here it is. There, that. Okay? Oh, well, you're probably better off. Yeah, there you go. Sorry, everybody, needed to be done. I know exactly why it's doing that, because Mr. Godden will have his hide car number paint uploaded to Trading Paints, so they're going to be white for a moment while they reload, but look at this side-by-side action once again, up towards Quarry, chucking it in. Wayne Palmer in there trying to fight just behind Victor Blick in the number 31 Simracersworld F3 Academy car. Daniele Giudici just ahead of them in the number 4. Further up as well, by the way. Van der Plat is in a real battle here. He's got one of his teammates, Silas Craig-Froelich, just behind with Robbie Carenduff. That is very close from Silas. He did this before and had contact with Beard. What's he going to do here? Look at that. Through the skyline. Oh, no, there's a little bit of contact. Oh, and Silas, he did try to go fiercely forward, and it's not paid off for him. Not sure what the damage is like on the car, but he gets straight back into the fray. Look at all this behind them, though. They've got such a train of cars. But don't forget, top 8 goes through. Daniele Giudici is currently the driver holding on to that. Look at them down the Conrad. I love it. These Formula 3 cars are not slow. And through goes Victor Blick. Somebody needs to tell him about the livery. And just in front, that's the SimFX Racing car. Oh no, Wayne Palmer's gone off. Hold the brakes, sunshine. I suppose he's on the grass, so he's alright. Mattis Groen has had an issue as well, though. What happened here, boys? Oh, Mattis gone well too late on the brakes. Little tiny touch, and around goes Wayne Palmer. Mattis will be kicking himself over that one. Daniele Giudici's off. Daniele was leading. Oh, well, he wasn't leading, sorry. He was inside the top 8. Great avoidance there. Who was that? Was that Paul Godden? I think that was. That was amazing avoidance by Paul Godden. Beautiful stuff. Wow. But what happened to Daniele? He's got Silas behind him. Oh, he's gone a little bit out of shape. That's the third car that Silas has unfortunately had contact with this race. Oh, that was close for Godden, though. Lovely stuff. Well, out in front, Arthur Fry in the 22 machine. Don't forget the well, there you go. The livery is reloading for Fat Send Engineering. Certainly is working for him. Kevin Zemstra, we saw how quick Kevin was last season. He's doing another sterling job here at the moment. James Forsyke is 3 seconds back in third position. And then Ross Nicholson just behind with Jaco van der Plat on his tail. John Tusting says Silas is being a bit silly. Trademark Chaslington. Who's Chaslington? Don't use that word here. Victor Blick is now in... Well, you could say he's on the blink. In the Simracersworld F3 Academy machine. That's definitely not sponsored by Red Bull. Delivery will change, trust me. Or apparently it won't. Ian needs to give these Simracersworld boys a slap. Robbie Carenduff in the SimFX racing machine. Just behind. You wouldn't think he was Scottish, would you? Oh, it's all changing here. Mattis Groen, Adam Osceola. Adam loses out there. Groen and Godden go through. But we only have one more lap after this one, and Arthur Fry is getting the job done at the minute. I'm sorry, everybody. I will have to give these paints another reload because I think that was due to the change halfway through of hiding the car numbers, which you saw me do. Now, Ben Hoffman is currently in 10th position. The only car on track that is where he started. Scratch that. Up into 9th. Robbie Carenduff is 4.3 seconds ahead. Now, around Bathurst, you know, it's a long lap. If he keeps this pace up... Oh, there's a big hit in the background. Who was that? It was Paul Godden. An unlucky 13 strikes again for Paul Godden. What has happened here? Oh, he's just disappeared off in time. Oh, he's gone well too hot. And Mattis Groen just flies into the wall. Horrible, horrible moment there for Paul Godden. Medic. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, mate. Not sure why Anton's asking rest in peace. Chaz, did something happen? Something that I don't know about. I'm hoping that some of these liveries reload. This is why you do it manually. Don't use trading paints. Anyone that's watched my paint videos will know that. Oh, Adam's in the wall at Forest Elbow. He's elbowed him. He's got Wayne Palmer just trying to come through. Oh, Jaco van der Plat had a little moment there, just flashed up on my timing screen. But onto the final lap any second will be Arthur Fry. And you can see Kevin Zemstra just looking menacing in the background. Arthur does the fastest lap of the race though, 2/10 quicker than what Kevin can muster that time round. This little battle still going on a bit further down the order. We just saw Adam recovering from Forest Elbow, so he wants to get straight back on the horse. And whether that horse is Wayne Palmer or not, I'm not sure. I don't know him that well. Oh, Adam just catches the curb. Car gets a little bit out of shape, unfortunately. But up the front. What a great drive by this young man, Arthur Fry. He was fantastic to watch last season. Whenever he got his pink helmet out, he was right on it. Sorry, I couldn't help that. Arthur, though, he drove so many well-controlled races last season. And this is hopefully the start of a fantastic campaign for him. Khan Nguyen. He doesn't need a Nguyen at the moment as the Vietnamese driver. He might do if Craig Parmenter does any more of that. But I can't believe Adrian Falcon, man. He's down in 17th place, just coming on to the last lap now, while as Arthur Fry is just at Forest Elbow. It's been a great performance to start the season by Arthur. Same for Kevin Zemstra as well, fiercely forward, opening their account in the best way. With a strong, strong start. And in all honesty, they're reigning teams champions, so they've got a lot to hold on to. But we know that Kevin Zemstra and Matthew Crisp, very capable driver lineup. Hope to see more of Jack Crawford going forward. Not sure if Jack will be available for this championship, but he's been doing a wonderful job in that team before. But Arthur Fry takes the win in the first heat race of the season. I know they call it a sprint race. Zemstra is second, Forsyth is third, Van der Plat fourth ahead of Nicholson. Ashley Beard for Altitude XZ Esports finishes in 6th. 7th place is Van der Blick, and Robbie Carenduff finishes in 8th and will be the last car to go through. Ben Hoffman will be on pole position for the Consolation race, with Elizabeth Rodriguez starting in 5th. And apparently Jack has left fiercely forward. Sorry, boys. But Arthur Fry, what a first fantastic race that was for him. Plenty going on again. And trust me, that's just the start of what you can expect this season. Hope you all enjoyed that. We're, of course, going to have our second heat race in just a moment for all of those drivers that qualified in even-numbered positions. So as everybody finishes then and the track clears, we'll have the grid for the second race of the night. Bart Daleman takes pole position with Alex Jonsson alongside him. We then have Matthew Crisp and Sammy Venables on row 2. Brian Loynes lines up alongside Mark Elviota. Then we have Harrison and Melvin with Tim Rutten in 8th. Then it's Nick Sherman's 9th. Victor Boelea-Santeles is 10th with Ben White and Hans Polmans on row 6. Then we have Mia Carices with Ronald Moons. Then it's Taylor Lane and John Barnes. John Tusting, his teammate, with John McConville. All the Johns in the middle. Philip Russell is just ahead of Craig Schill, with Phil Reagan in 21st on the grid. So, the second heat race of the season. We'll just get in and just get underway in a minute when the middle part of John's squadron, a little bit further back. John Tusting is just missing from the left-hand side of the shot there. But he should be appearing any moment now. That's if he's not too occupied in the YouTube chat. Boop, there he is. Right then. Heat 2 of the evening and the first Heat 2 of the season. Does that make sense? Is underway. A little bit of wheel spin from Alex Johnson, but what a launch it gives him. And look at that through the middle there. Mark Elviota in the Exodus racing machine. Fantastic start off the line. Tim Rutten nearly gets in a little bit of contact there with Harrison Melvin. That was on the inside. 2x2 further down the order. Looks like everybody survives and keeps it clean. It's close though between Tim Rutten and Mark Elviota. Side by side as they go up the hill. That's an Exodus racing car in front. Eclipse Racing is that very bright colour scheme. The number 27 on the right hand side. Good old rival of mine, Chris Daines, races in that team. I'm pretty sure he helps run it as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. But at the front, Bart Daleman, league admin,
Fix,
is leading the way ahead of Alex Johnson. Matthew Crisp in there for Fiercely Forward. Hoping to go fiercely forward. The amount of times that I'm going to say that, trust me. I know it's Eclipse Racing. I said it was. Harrison is sticking to the back of Tim Rutten. There's no other word for it at the moment. Oh, Sammy Venables all over the grass there. Look at that down the dipper. It's just so amazing to see these cars being launched down there. And as they pop over the crest towards Forest Elbow. Now, if we look back from Jonsson, dare we, Matthew Crisp is on the run. Or he will be. He's going to get quite the slipstream here. Down the Conrod. The thing is, once you get to the top end in these Formula 3 cars, there's nothing you can do. But you can see Jonsson feeling the need to go to the inside. That's because he's already ahead of Bart Daleman. Bart's going to be back down the inside now. Onto the brakes. Nearly contact. Wow, that was close. We'll look further back. Any shenanigans going on here? Everybody behaving themselves? Yeah? Yeah? Are you? Oh, no, you're not. Nick Sherman's is off. Sounded like there was a bit of contact here and there. I'm not quite sure who it would have been. Harrison Melvin still fighting with Tim Rutten. A little bit of a drift wide. Oh, there's contact. And Tim is sideways. Puts him the right way. Is there anybody else getting involved? Oh, no. Oh, that was Taylor Lane getting out of the way. And there's a massive accident behind. That's one of the Quantum cars as well. Oh, and the two Quantum cars have hit each other. Oh, John Tusting. Oh, and there's another car involved. Is that Phil Reagan? I think Phil got away with it. Oh, that was such a shame. Such a shame indeed. We had Hans Polmans have an issue. Oh, it was Hans that Taylor got out of the way. He was just reacting to the incident. Hans Polmans got involved. There was a Simracersworld esports car in there. That's number 51 of Mia Carices. And then look, the two Quantum cars at the bottom of the screen. Both clapped into one another. That was such a shame. Hansy and his fans will both be very disappointed. Wow. That's a real moment, but that's the thing. Bit of a check-up. A bit of an incident. Taylor just did his thing to avoid that. You can't really pin that on Taylor. He just turned around the incident that was going on in front of him. Hans just got quite a bit of netcode, hit into the wall, and then that bounced back off the wall. Unfortunately, highlighted the incident. Ben White's had an issue. He's in the wall now as well. That to me says I've hit the inside wall, Chaz. Oh, never mind that. Or has he? Oh no, I've hit the car on the inside, or someone's gone up the inside of me and sent it. Not sure what damage that would have done to the Eclipse racing machine. But still at the front, Bart Daleman under pressure once again. Alex Johnson has cleared off in the Alcantech machine. Bart very close to the back of Matthew Crisp. Matthew gets the job done that time round through the chase. Onto the brakes we go. Once again, flying out of that final corner. The pickup and the pace, it's just brilliant in these cars. I hope the stream looks okay, guys. Please do let me know if there are any issues with it. But so far, for someone that often drops frames, it's looking alright. Philip Russell of Team Fordzilla, we've not seen much of him yet. Always like the Fordzilla liveries. Chucks it up the inside and gets through on John McConville, but we know that John will not will not take that line down, you could say. Thanks very much, Seb. Bart is fighting back now at Matthew Crisp, but at the moment can't do enough as they go up towards the cutting. Look how close they get to braking. Oh, a little lock up from Bart there. He's dropped a little bit of pace, and it's Brian Loynes that's right behind him with the bright yellow wheels. Love watching these things go through McPhillamy Park. Any car going through McPhillamy Park is exciting. Yes, even the slow stis. But these things, with the downforce and the grip they have, you have to nail the turn in, because they've got so much grip with that aero and the high speed that you're doing through there. If you do it that little bit too early, you are going to clout the wall, hence why I thought Ben White had done it earlier. Harrison Melvin just lost out to Philip Russell and John McConville. Eclipse Racing are not having a good run through there at the moment, unfortunately. Looks like he's got a bit of damage on the front of that car, though. That surely will not be helping. At the moment, Taylor Lane is the last car that will go through to the feature. But he's got Victor Centelles just behind, or he will be if his internet didn't go on the blink. Now, Bart Daleman has got back past Matthew Crisp and tries to hold on to his position. This battle has been reignited as well. McConville overtaking Philip Russell in the number 70 machine. Philip concedes. Craig Schill and Phil Reagan side by side. Another great livery on Craig's car. He's got these very shiny iRacing UK badges down the side. Love it. Painted by James Leggett. As it looks like Harrison Melvin has conceded the fact that that car is damaged. Look at that from Taylor Lane. He knows he's on the brink of not having a spot in the feature, but he's just on the fastest lap of the race. So your reigning Academy champion on the move here is Mr. Lane in the fiercely forward GSI. Just makes me think of the old Astra GSIs when I read out the team name. And agreed with Anton, you know, Jonsson and Fry, not the most expected names as heat winners, but great to have new names at the top. Jonsson showing us how it's done at the moment. Arthur Fry definitely back with a bang. It's good to see so much fantastic pace at the front by Arthur. Yeah, to be fair, Victor's internet has not been the most reliable, unfortunately. He was blinking a lot last season, so I hope he does get it sorted. But yeah, you'll see here, look, it's gone for that amount of time. Not great. I do hope he gets it sorted, but he did ask for some assistance in the Discord, and I mean, I for one, I mean, we all know about my internet issues. Let's face it, half the time there wasn't a stream because of it. But unfortunately, nothing that I shared in terms of the same issues. Now, someone else that's got an issue at the moment is Bart Daleman, because Matthew Crisp has just flown past him on the way down to the chase. And he's just going to be sick of fighting him the same way, lap after lap after lap. Back on board with Bart Daleman, goes onto the right-hand side. You can just see Matthew Crisp's front wing. Matthew a little bit later on the brakes. Bart's going to go for a cutback. Oh, he hits the curb though, and that's what it can do. That was a painful little moment there for Bart Daleman, but just behind, he's lucky because Brian Loynes, as Johnson does the fastest lap of the race, is in a fight with Markel Villota. Markel got a fantastic start, great jump off the line, and he's still climbing the order even further. 7 places gained for Taylor Lane, by the way. Show you the gains on the left-hand side of your screen. 7 also for Russell, 6 for Schill, 5 for McConville, 6 for Reagan. Some fantastic drives through the field so far. Sammy Venables is now involved in this fight in the Fats End Engineering machine. Now ahead of Brian Loynes. So Brian's lost 2 places in just a handful of corners. And now Sammy wants another position. Send hub. I like that. I'm a massive fan of that. You can hear the car bottoming out through McPhillamy Park. Now what do you do here if you're Sammy? Do you line it up for a good run down the inside into Skyline, catch him off guard, or do you just follow and use the run down the Conrod? If it was me, I would go soft and go for the latter. The pace of these things down here is fantastic. Oh, I get so excited by this. I love this championship. I really do hope you all enjoy it this season with me as your commentator and broadcaster. Now Sammy is on it. The Exodus racing machine almost looks like it goes in reverse as we go past. It will change over now very quickly. And there is Markel Villota. Markel not challenging too much again on the way out of there. Looks like we're just about to go onto the final lap as well. There you go. Alex Jonsson heads on through to the final lap now then. We've got a very good battle actually going on between Tim Rutten and Philip Russell. There is the look back from Tim Rutten's car. Oh, he's run a little bit wide there. Russell's going to try and take advantage in the Fordzilla machine. Oh, Craig Schill's had an issue, unfortunately, a bit further down. Look at that, Russell through again. He's now the biggest mover in the field, is Philip Russell. 8 places gained, fantastic driving so far. Certainly a way to make your debut in this championship and show us how it is done. He's now seemingly breaking away from Tim Rutten. He got a really good run out of Hell Corner. Sammy Venables has of course got past Villota and is now trying to hold on to that over the crest of the hill. Spec map looking wonderful on that Formula 3 car. Lovely metallic red all over the top of that car. The Exodus machine is a very exciting livery as well. I do think that Fats End Engineering car is probably my my favourite though this season so far anyway. I do like the Fordzilla liveries. I really like the Altitude Esports XZ racing machines. I'll get that team name the right way around at some point this season. That was close from Sammy there against the wall. But another car that looks good, and a car and driver combo that looks very good, is Alex Jonsson. Leading the way from very early on. Matthew Crisp in tow. Alex has had to still push all the way through, but this has been a great drive from the debutant. And Team Alcantech Simulation NHR Esports will have their first heat win of the season. Great drive by Alex Jonsson. Matthew Crisp comes home in second. Bart Daleman will be third. Sammy Venables gets a fourth, with Markel Villota, Brian Loynes, Taylor Lane and Nick Shermans following on to get through into the feature. Victor Centelles will start from second on the grid. Ronald Moons for Flemish Sim Sports will start fourth. Philip Russell will be sixth. But keep an eye on Philip. Fantastic drive, mate. 8 places gained. Awesome stuff. John McConville as well. 6th position gained for John. Tim Rutten, his teammate, finishing just behind, and he cannot wait to get out of that car. But Alex Jonsson, well done on your very first win this season. A heat race win is just as good as any. but very shortly we should be having the Consolation race. And this is the thing about these race meetings that you have to consider as a spectator. I know that a lot of you watching have, of course, been involved in iRacing one way or another and have driven cars within iRacing, but yeah, when you have to do two crispy, when you have to drive a couple of races in one night, it can be very, very hard work indeed. But when you have to do qualifying and then you do your heat and then straight away you're into a Consolation race, I really feel sorry for the drivers that actually get through the Consolation and then have to do the feature as well, because you only get a 10-minute warm-up before doing it again. So there's plenty required in terms of persistence and endurance skill in this, really. It may be sprint races in this championship, but I tell you what, you have to have some real consistency. Lovely look around Mount Panorama at the moment with these scenic cameras here on iRacing. It's great that they've added in more crowd noises and more ambient effects. Of course, with the pit announcements, essentially, as you call them. Not so much crowd noise up here as the cloud cover very quickly goes by. But here is the Consolation race grid then. Ben Hoffman on pole with Victor Valea-Centelles alongside. Elizabeth Rodriguez third with Ronald Moons fourth. It's then Carn Newen, Philip Russell, Greg Parmenter, John McConville, Wayne Palmer and Tim Rutten, with Adam Osceola with Phil Reagan on row 6. Then it's Ryan James and Hans Polmans with Silas Kragvrolik and Craig Schill. Adrian Falcon, reigning champion, 17th. He'll need 9 places gained to get into the final, and that would only put him last on the grid in said final. John Tusting is 18th with Josh Clogg 19th. Watch out for him as well. Harrison Melvin is 20th. Mattis Groen 21st. Ben White 22nd. Paul Godden 23rd. And 24th is John Barnes. And the back row of the grid is Daniele Giudici and Mia Karisis. And again, I do apologise to Mia if I do get that name wrong. But let me know if I am doing, basically. So keep your eyes on this, because these Consolation races are a lot of fun. It's a mixed up grid compared to what we have before, but none of the front runners from the first 2 heats. So the first Consolation race of the season in the SimStickers Simracersworld Formula 3 Series is away. Looks like a very even start from everybody in the top 10. Looks like the number 20 of Adam Osceola didn't quite get the launch that he wanted a bit further back. Looked like Ben Hoffman might have gone in a little bit hot into turn 1, and Victor Centelles is trying to take advantage of it, watching in the background, everybody behaving themselves. But it's 2 by 2. Well, it's not. It's side by side up over the hill, and Victor Centelles takes the lead. Now, how is his connection going to hold out? It's going to be one of the interesting points of this race. McConville is just ahead of Rutten, Parmenter, Wayne Palmer, Ryan James and Osceola side by side with Silas Kragvrolik there in the middle. Silas goes through. But yes, Adrian Falcon does have a job in his hands. He's gained 4 of those 9 places needed already. Oh, as it's checked up a little bit in front. There must have been a bit of argy-bargy in there somewhere, because some of the cars have a bit of damage. Oh, we need to take it easy, gents. Over the hill. Oh, the 85 in the wall there. That's Ben Hoffman. Ben must have had an issue. Osceola's gone to the pits. Harrison Melvin also. So it's kicked off somewhere. I think it was Osceola, you know. Oh, that looked like even more sudden damage there. Oh, Osceola's been collected. Oh, wow. That's one of the Eclipse cars over, and I would say on its roof, but wow. That's a real moment, that is. So let's have a look at the number 85 of Ben Hoffman then. What happens to Ben? Up towards the cutting. Goes around the outside, but in a little bit too hot. It's going to get collected. Yeah, gets hit by Elizabeth. Gets on the power, and then behind, in the checkup, you can't quite see it. You see the car mount the barrier, and I think it goes over. I think it was Harrison Melvin that went over, and then, yeah, the damage to Hoffman's car. It's Harrison Melvin just wheel to wheel. Doesn't go over the barrier, no, but wow. That's a real shame for Harrison. Here's Ben Hoffman. Oh, we're looking back from Ben Hoffman. He's still at the back of the pack. John McConville has made his way into the pits. It was Osceola that got hit as well. Looks like Ben Hoffman has also gone off the track again there. But in the midfield, we've got Silas just ahead of Hans Polmans and John Tusting. Oh, and Wayne Palmer's gone off at turn 1. Wayne recovering, but he won't be too happy with that. Now, Adrian Falcon's gained 11 places in a lap. What? Your reigning champion. Continue as you mean to go on. What's the phrase? Start as you mean to go on. But he's just continuing how he went on in Season 1. Fantastic stuff from Adrian Falcon. Phil Regan and Ben White having a bit of a fight further back as well. That's Ben White in the Eclipse Racing machine, Phil Regan in the XZ Racing car. So many colourful liveries in this championship. I love it. Everybody going for some very garish colours at the minute. It's fantastic. Paul Godden's had an issue, unfortunately. Oh, wow, Paul. Wow, oh, wow, mate. That is... I can't say the word. Oh, heck. Yeah, that... yeah. That doesn't look right to me. That's a real shame for Paul Godden. But yes, Adrian Falcon, 11 places gained. Josh Clogg's gained 10. One more place, and he is into the feature. It may be last on the grid, but, well, it's a feature race place. It's spread out a little bit at the moment. Although I say that, Elizabeth Rodriguez has got Philip Russell right behind. But if you'd all agree with me, I think I'd love to see Adrian Falcon's first lap, and we have to do that before the race ends because I will lose the ability to go back and look at it. But we've still got great battles going on. Josh Clogg is now overtaken by Phil Regan. He's got Ben White coming through as well. I think Josh is actually going backwards here. It seems like he's got damage at the front of the car. It's not behaving how it wants to, and that's Hans Polmans who's going to go through. Ronald Moon's in second place, by the way. Fastest lap of the race. 2 minutes, 0.659. 4.7 for Falcon. Goes 0.02 of a second quicker. But he's on the back of Ryan James, who, of course, went off at the last corner in his heat. So he's going to want a lot more. We've got Josh Clogg, Silas Vrolik in the pits, Mia Caresis and Wayne Palmer. All of them coming in. But Phil Regan just needs one more position. But Greg Parmenter is 3 seconds up the road. Ben White is not. Ben White is right in there, wanting to hold him back. Look at that. Looking down the inside, just showing him that he's there. I'm not going anywhere, mate. It's like a 90s disco. It's like looking at two HKS cars in these liveries. Especially the Eclipse Racing Team livery. Very HKS, isn't it? If you don't know what that means, Google it. So Philip Russell is only just ahead of Elizabeth Rodriguez and Ryan James and Adrian Falcon at the moment. These lot all together. Adrian can see a podium position from here. Started 17th on the grid. And he's got this fight in front of him as well. I think Mia Caresis just got damaged with another car. Oh, and in front, that's Philip off. Philip Russell off the circuit, into the wall at Forest Elbow. What happened, Philip? Just a little bit too hot into here. Oh, over the crest, the car steps out, locks up. Gives the tyre wall a number of kisses. Great avoidance by the cars behind. Unfortunately, he has now lost a place, but Falcon side by side with Ryan James. He's going for a podium position here, everybody. Tries to get around the outside in the chicane, doesn't work. Tries a cut back on the exit. That may work. Ryan James will defend it hard, though. Victor Belair-Centelles crosses the line. He's got his teammate in the Exodus Racing machine here, fighting for a podium. But don't forget Philip Russell, he's doing all right despite that damage, you know. Hans Polman side by side with Phil Regan in the number 60 machine. Phil needs to push to get into that final. There's still 5 laps to go yet. Paul Godden's gone off. He stayed off. Bit of a strange one. Oh, excuse me. And excuse me, says Hans Polmans. Down the inside goes Hansy. 4 places gained. Ben White's gained 13 positions. Falcon's gained 14. This would be a great drive by Ben White if he can get in there. Hoffman does the fastest lap of the race, a 2 minute .219, down in 20th place. Ben's certainly flying in that XZ Racing car. I think they do need a pit stop to get to the end, you know. I think that might be right. I can't remember if we always had them in the Consolations or not, but I think we do. There was a big uproar about it at Montreal, but let's not get into that. Adrian Falcon flying at the moment, though. Victor Centelles, to be fair to him, out front, doing a wonderful job at the minute. Doing everything right in the Exodus Racing Dallara. Yeah, they have limited fuel, basically, Hendrick, so a lot of the time they do have to pit in these short races. Just adds a bit more strategy to it. Indeed, and you are right, Jess. 3 new wings. When you've got the damage, you may as well come in and get it sorted ASAP so the car is at its best, and then you've got the fuel to go to the end. Matty's grown here all over the back of Craig Schill, and Craig will be groaning at his rearview mirror when he sees that he's that close to the back of him. Seb, you get a wing, everybody gets a wing. They do indeed. Now, we've got a bit of a moment here where it's chilled out. I'm going to do this, but I want to see Adrian Falcon's first lap. So we've got a mega launch. That's Craig Schill that he's gone past. We'll just see it till he gets to maybe the end of the mountain, unless something severe happens out on track. I've got my eye on it. Well, there's 2 more positions. So that's 3. I believe that would have been... That's Silas Kragvrolic in front of him. Now you're going to see this incident happen in front, of course. Look at that down the inside from Silas. That's on one of the SCCR cars, I believe. It is. Now look at that. Finds the gap, does Adrian. That's 4. Now, how many does he gain out of this incident? You're going to see a good view of it here. Slows it up, goes to the right, gets out of the way. Slows it up again. Oh, damage for Silas. 5. 6. Oh, he's been on the limit twice here, but that's 6 places gained. Nicely read again. 7. The XZ racing car hits the wall. That's Ben Hoffman, I believe. This just shows you, you read the situations of what's going on in front of you. You don't get too close to the car in front if you can see that they're going to get a poor run or have issues. 7 at the minute. It's obviously going to be 8 by the time he gets down the Conrad. Oh, never mind. 8. And then 9 at the expense of McConville. And then he's going to get his 10th. And I believe a car went off at the end of the lap as well, which would have been the 11th. That's an absolutely outstanding lap by Adrian Falcon. Love that. The reigning champion doing bits out here at Bathurst to destroy all professionalism in the matter of a second. I think Silas has had an issue, by the way. Adam Osiwala has also had an issue. Adam over the crest. Oh, a little bit too hot into Forest Elbow, and that's going to be the end of your race, I'm afraid, mate. Let's have a look. Oh, Silas has had a big one. Silas has had a very, very big one. Mir Curesis has gone past Silas. Oh, it's already in the wall at that point. Let's go a bit further back. It was very, very, very clever driving by Adrian Falcon, wasn't it? Not to toot his horn too much, but you have to give it to him. Just getting out of it when you need to and just reading the situations ahead of you, it makes such a difference. Not to mention the fact he's got the pace to go with it. I mean, we don't all have the pace to go with it, but even still. Oh, Silas kisses that bit of the wall and that, and it's going to... Oh, it just turns hard left with the damage. Oh, Silas, that's such a shame, man. As soon as the tyres dug in again, once he'd hit the wall, it just flung itself at it. Now, Ronald Moons, by the way, isn't too far in front of Adrian Falcon here. He could get 2nd place. And look, there's his teammate up the road. Could Falcon win this? Is he going to really stamp his authority on this championship and the fact he's reigning champion by not making it into the feature in his heat and then going on and winning the Consolation from 17th on the grid? What do you all reckon? He's just gone up to 2nd place now. Ronald Moons can't really do much to defend in a straight line when you're going down there, so fair play. Tim Rutten 5th at the moment, Philip Russell 6th, Ben White's gained 15 places, just as many as Adrian Falcon, to be fair to him. He's having an amazing, amazing race. He's Ben White, of course, wearing the Damon Hill replica livery. Well, on the helmet, of course. Elizabeth had, I think, damage from before. The car's not been at its best. So she's just gradually been dropping down a bit. Anton Dupin there with the new team name. Oh, hello. New team name for Fiercely Forward, Bravely Backwards. I'm sorry, Ollie. Really, I'm sorry, but that is great. Bravely Backwards. Well, I'll credit Anton if anybody ever asks me. Wow. Well, this is Adrian Falcon, and this is your race leader. It's a 1-2 for Exodus Racing at the moment. Ryan James is about a second off the back of Ronald Moons, currently in 4th for a team down under. And welcome to the series, Silas. Welcome, mate. I've been practicing your name, so I'm probably still getting it wrong. This is Daniele Giudici in the Sim Stickers Racing machine. Quite like that gradient. This is a hell of a gradient. They're going down now, though. Oh, apologies. Apologies, Jess. Apologies. That's my bad. I didn't see it within that message. Mark, you need to sort your maths out, mate. The winner of this will start 17th. 8 cars from 2 heats makes 16, mate. So these 8 cars will basically form 18th to 24th on the grid in the feature. Oh, this is feisty stuff from Daniele Giudici. Looking at Craig Schill in front, trying to make a move. Now, there are cars that haven't pitted here. Josh Clogg has. He's the highest placed car of those that have pitted. There you go on the left. I'll see a while they're going for a 2-stop strategy, of course. But, yes. Interesting indeed that not everybody is pitting. Bart did say in the chat earlier that you can make it on the fuel, but it would be very close, potentially. I'm expecting to see a lot of them pit right near the end, but look at this. Ronald Moons. I don't dare look. But Ryan James all over the back of him. It's closer than I'd like to get to the car in front, especially in these things. Can't see the nose that well, or at all. Ben Hoffman's had issues further down, I'm afraid. Look at the speed Ronald Moons carries through there. And just behind, by the way, that's Tim Rutten, and that is for position between him and Ryan James. So Tim Rutten, he's on the roll now. He gets to watch all this go on. That looked a bit scary down there. Nearly kisses the wall on the right-hand side. There's one more lap to go in this. I'm intrigued to see whether anybody else pits. And can you believe it? The teammates fighting at the front, and Adrian Falcon has the lead of the race. Ronald Moon's still fighting with Ryan James, who we were looking at there. Ryan's gone a little bit wide. Ronald's surely going to get the run. Watch out for Tim Rutten. What can he do in this situation? No pit stops for these guys. Are they going to make it? Oh, Tim has to go over to the left a bit more. Ronald Moons gets off the brakes. Good avoidance. They're now side by side down the straight. They don't need to fight this hard at the minute because as things stand, they're both into the feature and they've got 5 seconds to the car behind. So any incident will just destroy what they have in terms of getting through. Mia Karisis, unfortunately, pulling over at the side of the road halfway down the hill. Well, I say hill, it's not really a hill, is it? It is a mountain. But Adrian Falcon, 16 places gained, 15 for Ben White. What a drive he's had. Daniele Giudici has gained 11. Mattis Groen has gained 10. So we've had a wonderful, wonderful run through the field. Mr. Danes, great to see you, mate. And yes, your boy Ben White is having a great drive. 15 places gained. And Hans Polmans has moved up into a feature race position. Now, at the start of this, be honest, everybody in chat, I want you to be completely honest on this. How many of you would have put money on this man winning this race? When I said he has to have 9 places gained to win it, and based on how competitive those first few races were, did you think he was going to do it? Ben, please refrain from bringing that sort of thing into the YouTube chat, please, mate. This is Daniele Giudici, still involved in a very strong fight further down the order. This is the thing, some of these guys may not make it past this consolation race, but they will absolutely be loving it. But someone that will be loving it is going to start, unfortunately, down in 17th place for the final race of the night. But Adrian Falcon, take a bow. Your reigning champion puts in a hell of a performance, and it's a 1-2 in the consolation race for Exodus Racing. Team Down Under's Ryan James finishes third, 10 places gained to get to the final. Tim Rutten, I think, might have just run out of fuel. He finishes in 4th with Ronald Moon's 5th, Philip Russell 6th, Ben White gets through in 7th, and Hans Polmans will start at the back of the grid. However, he does make it through to the feature. Well, another great race here. What a fantastic way to start the season here at Bathurst. Well done to all of those that have made it through into the feature race. Commiserations to those that haven't. But as we saw, you don't all need to pit by the look of it. They made it through to the end on fuel. Well. Well. That was certainly an entertaining one. Place your bets for the feature, everybody. What do we all reckon? What do we reckon? Who will take the win in that one? What a circuit to be at as well for the start of this season, though. And what a drive by Adrian Falcon. You can't take anything away from that. It was that first lap, just keeping it nice and clean while he had the time to do it. Awesome. Absolutely awesome stuff. So we'll bang some music on. We're going to get a warm-up session. So these guys are going to just go out there and get some laps in. Look at that. Balea and James apparently very close together, but I see a lot of cars with the same gap there, so I don't think that's correct. Anyway, we now have a quick warm-up session. A couple of the drivers going out and leaving the pit lane. And speaking of leaving, I'll be leaving temporarily. I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break. I'll be right back with you here on Simracersworld TV for the Sim Stickers Simracersworld Formula 3 series. I'll see you in a few. Thank you very much for your patience there, everybody. Chaz Draycott here on Simracersworld TV for the Sim Stickers Simracersworld Formula 3 Series. Round 1 from Mount Panorama, Bathurst. We've completed our 2 heat races and our Consolation race, and now we are in the warm-up session for the feature, the main event of the night. And I cannot wait to see how these drivers get on. Place your bets in chat. Who do you think will take the win here? Adrian Falcon just pulled off a wonderful drive from 17th on the grid to win the Consolation race with that first lap that we all got a good look at. But you never know in this championship. As you saw earlier, Adrian Falcon was fastest in qualifying but had to do all the hard work when it didn't go his way earlier on. Love this song. I was going to say, Seb Heber, you can read my mind, can't you, mate? We do have over 50 viewers. Thank you very much to each and every one of you. But we're barely over the 10 like mark at the moment. Please do pump up those numbers, guys. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to Simracersworld TV already, please do so. You are going to be joined by yours truly, Chaz Draycott, over the whole season. I'll be your broadcaster and commentator for the entire season. And I cannot wait to see what the rest of the season holds for us. We've not even done the first feature race of the season yet, though. So it's plenty to be watched, essentially, here on Simracersworld TV. There's lots more going on as well. We do have a number of other series. We've got the Simracersworld TCR series. We've got the Simracersworld Dynamics NASCAR series. We also have the Virtual Bell Car Winter series. What else have we got? Plenty. Sunday Drivers Cup as well, the MX5 Sunday Drivers Cup. We also have the Dynamics Endurance series. The Apex Tech League, which is coming up very soon on Simracersworld TV. That's actually going to be starting this coming weekend. I'll be on the broadcast for that. The Porsche Club GB Sim Racing Championship is making a return. We've got the Simracersworld BMW Trophy, the Sunday GT Masters. So many different fantastic series for you to watch here on Simracersworld TV. So please do make sure you subscribe. And if you want to get notified of when we go live, make sure you click the little bell notification icon, because you will not miss a single broadcast that way. The guys then just cracking on at the moment in warm-up. And as you can see, it's a good time to get a little bit of racecraft practice in as well. Use the cars around you to just have a bit of a fight. See what the slipstream's like and just test out what your car can do. This is James Forsythe we're looking at now in the Altitude XZ Esports machine. That, I believe, is Matthew Crisp right in front of him in the number 18 Fiercely Forward car. Or as Jess called it before, Bravely Backwards. Do love that. Bart Delman fastest at the minute. Alex Johnson, of course, won the second heat race of the night. And look at this now, some of the guys practicing their pit entrance. It's not easy here at Bathurst, as Matthew Crisp shows us. Well, I bet Ronald Moon's absolutely laughed his head off there watching that. Let's have a look from Ronald's car. Matthew tries to go in as quick as he can. Whoops. Oh, I'll tell you what, Ronald nearly went in himself. They call that the David Coulthard method. But it didn't work out for Mr. Crisp. Mr. Danes, no problem, mate. No problem. Thank you very much indeed. Great to see you back in sim racing again, Chris. It really is good. Your pace in the Simracersworld TCR was definitely, as I remembered it, always right up there at the sharp end of the fight. And Seb saying he went fiercely into the tyres, he did. And yes, Anton, it is Charles. Yes, as much as I do enjoy being called Chaz. Yes, it is Charles Edward Draycott. How posh is that? Thanks, Mum. Thanks, Dad. Here's Ryan James. Quite hopeful for this evening. Now, I just want to have a quick look. Let's just look on the airbox of this car. There seems to be some sort of pattern on it. I want to get a closer look at this and see maybe what the pattern says. Oh, look at that. That's very tasty indeed, with the 3D wrap logo on there as well. We now have our grid for the final race of the night. Arthur Fry and Alex Johnson alongside each other on the front row. Then it's Kevin Zemstra and Matthew Crisp, James Forsyke and Bart Daleman, Jaco van der Plat with Sammy Venables alongside. Then it's Ross Nicholson and Mark Alviota. The guys do get on the grid very, very quickly here for this final race, so we will just skim the grid through for you. And there you can see Hans Polman's at the back of the pack, but he's going to be very hungry to get through and see what he can do climbing up the order. But we're at Bathurst for the first round of the season and the first feature race of the season in the Sim Stickers Simracersworld Formula 3 Series. Season 3 is underway. The lights were not on for long. A bit of smoke in the background from Ross Nicholson as he gets off the line. Two fiercely forward cars. They look like 90s Jordans coming through from the second row of the grid. Everybody just keeping it nice and tidy at the start. Oh, a bit of a wiggle around there. Who was that? I think that might have been... Who was that in the Red Bull car? Just trying to figure out who the heck that was there, in all honesty. But still, Arthur Fry and Alex Johnson having a fight near the front of the pack for the race lead. Look at it all condensing behind. Can we see anything good from the blimp? Yeah, we're going to get a good view of any shenanigans that go on here. Nice to have this view from all that distance back. Everybody... Oh, there's a car around. Who's that? Oh, it's Victor Stenteles. And he's in the wall with Tim Rutten, unfortunately. The pair of them having a big, big issue. Oh, he just gets a clip from behind. And unfortunately, that's going to be the end of his evening. Bart Daleman then. On the back of James Forsyke with Jaco van der Plat just behind him. Look at this train down here, man. Look at this. Awesome stuff. All of them just filtering their way down the hill. I call it a hill too many times. It's a mountain. Great stuff. But it is Arthur Fry leading the way then. Kevin Zemstra is up to second. Alex Johnson third. The rest of the top seven, oh, thanks, James, was stationary until then. James Forsyke overtakes Matthew Crisp. So too does Bart Daleman. That's a bit early to be doing that, though. Oh, Matthew's got some sort of issue. There's something wrong for Crispy. Oh, you want to keep that out of the wall, sunshine. He's done a good job up to now of keeping that away from traffic. Fair play to Matt. He's turning right as hard as he can, and the car's just not doing it. Look, he's trying to go left. He's... Oh, no, Matt. Oh, mate. I'm not sure if he could see or what. That's a massive accident. I know that some of the guys will be very, very unhappy about that. It was Victor Blick in the Red Bull livery. What on earth happened, though, to Matthew Crisp earlier on? Was it a bit further up the hill? I'm not really sure what caused it. So here's how Forsyke got through. It's very strange. And then it's at about this point he decides he's on the grass. I'm not sure if he was doing that to get out of the way and then just didn't want to rejoin aggressively, but the car then just wants to turn left. That's why he keeps hitting the wall. He's putting the right lock on. But then it just wanders over to the right-hand side. Oh. That's a massive, massive accident, that is, for Matthew Crisp. And he is sat now in the pit lane, unfortunately. Really not sure what happened there. Hopefully he pops into the YouTube chat and tells us, because that's a bit of a mystery to me, that one. Now this is Jaco van der Plat with Ross Nicholson all over the back of him. Climbing all over the back of that fiercely forward car. We've got 14 laps here to do with a pit stop, so these guys have got a lot of work cut out over this race, so they need to just take it easy early on, but tell that to this lot. Adrian Falcon in the middle here. Mark Alviota, his teammate, just behind. Ryan James is in there as well. Ryan's gained 5 places from where he started. Adrian's gained 6. Bart Daleman has gained 2. The top 3 remain how they began. Arthur Fry, Alex Johnson, Kevin Zemstra. That worked out nicely, didn't it? So many pairings, though, that are slipstreaming each other down the Conrod Straight. That's Taylor Lane and Adrian Falcon changing places in the background. Nick Sherman's, I believe, on Viota. Let's Markel hold on to that position for now. Here's Van der Plat. Behind him is Ross Nicholson. Oh, a bit closer back. Ryan James has had the better of Nick Sherman's. Moves over to the right a little bit. Close stuff. Fry does the fastest lap of the race, 1:58.9. Like I said last season, at the very first round that we had. Oh, hello. the very first round at Phillip Island, Arthur Fry was phenomenal to watch. He was so quick. And now he's doing it all again. Great to see these cars around here. I absolutely love it. I'll tell you one thing, I cannot drive these cars to save my life, but wow, they do fly around here. It's great. Oh, that was a car just getting going again there. Who was that? Was that Mark Alviota? No, was that? It was Victor Centelles. Oh, making himself a bit of a nuisance there for Nick Shermans. He's trying to get out of everybody's way. Who's that behind him? It's one of the Flemish Sim Sports cars. I think that's Hans Polmans, or is it Ronald Moons? It's Ronald Moons. Won't be pleased with getting held up there. The field is so, not spread out, but it's so mixed up. I love this. This is what's great about this format. It's not just out and out pace, puts you at the front and you drive off. Wow, all the chat seems to be coming through like in blocks, guys, so I don't get any chat messages in YouTube for ages and then all of them come through at once, so apologies if I don't see any of them, but we're on board with Adrian Falcon now, chasing down Ashley Beard. He's trying to go for the cutback on Ash. Ash is very good indeed. He's great at falling asleep in his rig. Adrian putting on so much pressure. Back up the straight they go. Look at this though, there's just cars everywhere. It's fantastic. In the background you've got Ryan James trying to go around Mark Alviota. Side by side all the way up towards Quarry. Great formation flying from these boys. But still, no move made from Ryan James. Adrian is close to the back of... Actually, sorry, no he's not. Ashley Beard is close to the back of him because he's had Ash off there. Over the top of the hill again. Jacco van der Plat trying to hold on here against Ross Nicholson. We know how quick Ross can be. It's good to see him having a bit of luck on his side at the moment. There you go, jinx that. Jacco's just got this sorted down the hill there, mountain. Into Forest Elbow. A little bit of a lock-up from Ross there, pushing very hard to try and chase him. Maybe a kiss of the wall. It's easy to do that out of there, especially when you're pushing to overtake the car in front. You can't hear them just bottoming out all the way down here. Now we've gone board with Ryan James. He's right behind Mark Alviota. What can he do? Down the inside. Onto the brakes. Ryan James is going to have the inside line for the first part of the chicane, but Viota just holds him off again. It's great defensive stuff this from Markel. Amazing driving. And behind them as well, Robbie Carendorf and Nick Shermans both closing in as well. Now Robbie was in the SimFX Racing livery before, but when I hid the car numbers thing, it seems to have got rid of it. Now Hans Polmans is in, the number 25 Flemish Sim Sports Dallara. First car to pit. First car to pit in a strategic way anyway. Now Bart Daleman is just holding on now with Kevin Zemstra. Bart Daleman's up to third position in this race, gained 3 spots. So he started 6th on the grid. He's done a great job at the minute. But we know how fast Kevin is. And James Forsyth isn't too far behind there either, you know. Let's go on board with Kevin Zemstra though. Over the top of the hill. At least you know who you're chasing. Love this. Absolutely love this. Down through Skyline to the Dipper. And down towards Forest Elbow. And once again, onto the power, down the conrod they go. So close to the wall, everybody in the background. Ross Nicholson has Brian Loynes and Adrian Falcon just behind. What can these guys do? Here goes Brian, pulling over to the right, and I look for Adrian poking up from the bottom of the shot. There he is. So Brian on the right, Ross on the left, Adrian at the bottom, Adrian down the inside. Look at that from Falcon. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Ross Nicholson's going to come back at him though. He's going to be on the outside for the final corner. He's then going to go for a cutback. Adrian gets the car on the line where he wants it. And down the inside he goes. Amazing. Jaco van der Plat under pressure again. James Forsyth now on the back of him, so it's 57 against 52. Oh no, Adrian's gone off. Oh, and the reigning champion is around. Bit of a blink in and out there, sorry. What happened, Adrian? No. We never see this from him. Oh, he's not going. Oh, he gets a punt. Nothing intentional, of course, but yeah, unfortunately, Ross just gave him the slightest bit of contact and he's around. So he's down to 15th place now, is Adrian Falcon. And look at this. Ashley Beard down the inside of Taylor Lane with Ross Nicholson in there as well. Wow. I just can't believe that another issue there for Adrian Falcon. That shapes it up, doesn't it? Shakes it up, I should say. Got some fantastic battles going on, almost always, including a fiercely forward car. These guys love the action. Brian Loynes at the back of this. The change of direction around here, and the walls being that close, it's just always lovely to watch. It's just something so natural about this circuit and these sorts of cars. Down the Conrod straight to go then, back towards the chase. Here's Ashley Beard. Goes to the right of Ross Nicholson. Onto the brakes a bit later, round the outside. Look at that, great stuff from Ashley Beard. Love that, chucks it in. Great commitment there, and Ross Nicholson decides that's the time to pit. He's thinking, right, let's not get in a fight. Let's try and pit while I can, get some clear air and go. Bart Delman, fastest lap of the race for Sim Stickers, Simracersworld. Mega pace once again from the league admin. Alex Johnson and Arthur Fry still holding station at the front of the field though. Alex putting in another strong performance. Arthur Fry still the race leader, number 22. He's been pretty untouchable so far this race meeting. We'll go on board as we go over the top of the mountain with your race leader. That's brilliant, that is. Just manages to hold it in 5th gear all the way through there before changing up. He was only 0.3 of a second slower than the fastest lap of the race last time round, but that was Bart Delman. And yes, there will be different classes, guys. We will have the precision, consistency and academy classes again this season. They will be classified after 3 rounds, I believe. So we will have that. We will have the decal layers and all of the colours on the wings to signify that. Looking forward to getting those on the cars. But we're at the halfway point of this race now. Lap 7 out of 14. So we're just about to head into the second half. And here is Arthur Fry. Definitely not doing Arthur job, is he? Flying at the minute. Then it's Johnson and Daleman. Zemstra still in 4th. Don't forget him. You can't count him out here either. Closest cars on track at the minute, though, are actually Nick Sherman's and Robbie Caranduff. Another fastest lap of the race by Bart Delman. He's getting quicker and quicker each time. 1:58.288 for Bart. Taylor Lane comes in the pit lane. Ben White's in as well in the Eclipse racing car. But now the closest cars are this trio here, James Forsyth, Van der Plat and Brian Loynes, with, as Mark has been calling them, those wheels. I quite like them though, to be fair. Brian always goes for bright wheels on his cars. Matches his bright yellow roll hoop and wing mirrors. Gives you a good chance to appreciate the wing mirrors on the Formula 3 car. Look how much the left one is a lot higher because of the airbox. Asymmetrical wing mirrors is quite a thing. As they fly through McPhillamy Park again. Brian Loynes is really closing in on Jacko here. I apologise to him if it is Jacko, not Jacko, but trying to be international. Brian Loynes, big lock up there on the way down through to the dipper. It's not going to help him. It's not going to help his lap times, and he's now just over 3/4 of a second back. But Bart Delman is flying here. Jonsson will be looking back and thinking, please don't, mate. Can you just, rein it in a little bit? It's just over 7/10 back now. It's closing slightly because of the slipstream down here. But Bart Delman is pushing hard. All the jokes about Ash falling asleep are coming in. Frederik van Eekhoven looking for the timing. If you bear with me, mate, I will chuck you all the live timing link. We don't have those sorts of commands here on Simracersworld TV. There you go, there is the live timing link now in the chat for you guys. Oh, there's a car coming in the pits. Jacco van der Plat and Markel Viota both coming in. Onto the brakes hard. Robbie Caranduff goes through to start another lap. He's 8th at the moment. Up the hill he goes. I do quite like the livery. Plain and simple. Always works. Out of the cutting then goes Jonsson. Bart Delman chasing him down at the minute. It's always interesting to go over the top of the mountain when you're looking backwards. Certainly does show you just how committed they are. In the words of Mater from Cars, don't need to see where I'm going, just got to know where I've been. And that's certainly the case here. Oh, a little bit of sparks kicked up off the wall there. A little bit of spark. Great Englishing, Chaz. You all know what I meant. But Bart Delman just has the pace on the way down, doesn't he? Nice and calm on the brakes. Now he's 4/10 back, so he's surely going to get a good run here on Alex Jonsson. It's down to 3/10. 2.5. 2/10, 1.5, 1/10. And there you go, Bart Delman through, but what can Jonsson do on the brakes? He's later in the 196 car. Delman round the outside though, then down the inside. Fantastic commitment from your league admin. Wow. And into the pits they both go. Arthur Fry in as well, Zemstra in, Forsyth, Loynes. I think that's pretty much all you can do on the fuel. Cheeky stuff from Alex Jonsson. Chucks it down the inside. Wow. Look at them all just creeping down the pit lane. It's so painfully slow. Everybody in, it's spitting. Oh no! Oh, there's contact between Caranduff and who was that in front? Nick Sherman's. Oh, it's such a shame to see it. Now, who's carried on going through there? Arthur Fry's on his way out. Jacco van der Plat. He's gained a couple of places by the look of it through that. Coming out of the pits there is Brian Loynes. He's going to get the run on Brian. Yeah, thank you very much, Silas. Not Jacko, but just Jacko, if that makes sense. Oh, a bit wide there from the man himself. Kisses the wall, bit of pedigree chum up the left-hand side of the car. Well, he's not going to get a dentist stick for that. Through goes Ashley Beard, but Arthur Fry now out of the pit lane. 4 seconds to the good over this man, Alex Jonsson, who is only 0.8 of a second ahead of Bart Delman, but the fight is in the middle. Ashley Beard with Brian Loynes in front and Jacco van der Plat behind. over the top of the mountain once again. Incredible stuff here. Brian Loyne's just in front of us. Oh, there's an Exodus car going slow. I think that might be Victor Centelles. Jaco van der Plat lost a little bit of time behind us there. Gap's gone up to half a second. Ashley clips the wall. You can certainly see that it's Brian Loyne's in front now. Now we're going to go on board with Jaco van der Plat because you're going to see the two of them ahead of us go side by side. But what can Jaco do here to close in? Yeah, indeed, Mia. That was a wonderful little move in the pit lane by Alex Johnson. Now that's interesting. Ashley Beard looks for the move, then gets out of it, then he tries late on the brakes. He's really trying to pile the pressure on here. He's just going to force Brian Loynes into a mistake at this stage, if anything, but doesn't seem that he can do that at the moment. Thank you very much, Chris. I hope you do enjoy the camera work this season. I do try. I don't quite think I can do what we did last season where we have the camera rotating on the car. I'd certainly give it a go in the sim, if you wanted me to do that, that is. But it will be very experimental, so I do hope that you all at least give me the benefit of the doubt if it goes wrong. Now Bart Daleman has just got up into second place. He's passed Alex Johnson. Alex is not going to take that line down though in the Alcantech machine. Onto the brakes they go, into the cutting. Bart's just got some fantastic pace around here at the moment, hasn't he? Really is flying. Ashley Beard putting the pressure on Brian Loynes once again. Now I'm just going to test this. I'm wondering if we do go on board with roll bar. Nope, it doesn't do that. We can look left, but we can't look right because SDK does a thing where it moves the dashboard, so we can spin around and we can look back at Jaco van der Plat in front, and then we can quickly try and spin it back round and look in front of you. Don't get as motion sick as I do. Jaco van der Plat, though, is going to close in from behind. And they're all going to slipstream up to one another here. And what's Ashley Beard going to do this time? There you go, that's what he's going to do. Chuck it up the inside. Oh, Jaco gets so close. I think there was contact with Brian Loynes there. They just about get away with it somehow. And Brian Loynes now onto the back of Ashley Beard again, but beautiful stuff by Ash down the inside. Jaco and Brian, I must admit, both got very lucky with that. Taylor Lane coming over the hill in the background to start his 12th lap of the race. Sounds like there's a car in. It's Victor Centelles. He's back in again, having a real nightmare, unfortunately, in this race. Great job to get into the feature, but since then, it's not gone his way. Now, what's going to happen here, gents? Ash goes to the right to defend. Brian wiggles around a little bit, tries to find a way through. Nothing doing at the minute. Onto the brakes, into the cutting. The car behaves so strangely into there because the track does bring the camber to you. It leans as it goes around the corner, and then all of a sudden as you get on the crest on the exit, all that grip just disappears. It's horrible. You can hear Brian getting out of the power even around here. Crazy stuff. Sammy Venables is close to Hans Polman's a bit further down. This is the chase for 17th and 18th position, but we do need to go back to this because Brian's trying to put the pressure on while also receiving the pressure from Jaco van der Plat. We'll give this another go, shall we? We can only look left, we can't look right, so I hope he goes to the right. Knowing my luck, he won't. Here you go. Perfect opportunity. Now, is Jaco going to get out of this or not? Is he going to try and be later on the brakes? No. So we're not going to be able to look where we're going now. I'm sorry. I thought I'd be able to give it a good go, but we have to go all the way around. Thank you, SDK, for not allowing me to use Control D on anything when I have your program open. Bart Daleman, fastest lap of the race again, though. Don't worry, Mia. I get horrific motion sickness as well. That's just checked something there. Apologies. I didn't want to mess up the entire broadcast. Yeah, I'm that bad. I got motion sickness on Wreckfest when I first played it on triples and did a jump. So it does get that bad. Matthew Crisp has come out and then gone back into the pit lane, unfortunately. But what a great scrap we've got going on here between these three. Ashley Beard, excuse me. Wow, it is getting late. Ashley Beard ahead of Brian Loynes, Jacco van der Plat. Good stuff from the Altitude XZ Esports machine. James Forsyke, his teammate, is just up the road as well. So a great first outing for this combination of teams. Altitude Esports and XZ Esports. Oh, Philip Russell's gone off. Oh, and he's had a hit in the wall. Although iRacing Damage Model doing its thing, although he's turning hard left and the car is definitely not going hard left in the Fordzilla machine. That's such a shame. Philip was great earlier on. But that will be the end of his evening. One more lap to go after this then. And there are still battles all over the place. But look at this. Adrian Falcon down in 14th place. Just hasn't had the chance to recover yet. It's behind Nick Sherman's currently. And this is certainly going to spice up the season. Dino Dugelwitz asking the true questions. How many chickens does it take to kill an elephant? I really don't know. But how many attempts does it take for Brian Loynes to get this position back off Ash Beard? Oh, well, not that many, because he's not going to get another chance, I don't think, this race. A little bit of contact, whether it was Ash running wide or Brian turning in a bit too much, I'm not sure. Let's give the stewards a look at it. I think Ash was running wide, but you can't really blame either of them too much for that. Bit of a racing incident, close stuff together. But we're on to the final lap for Arthur Fry. And I think pretty much all night, he's pretty much led every lap, hasn't he? I'm pretty sure he led every lap this evening, Arthur Fry. That he's raced in anyway. It's been phenomenal. Bart Daleman's been right on the pace though. Great to see Bart flying again in this championship. Kevin Zemstra and James Forsyke. And then Ashley Beard with Jacco van der Plat and Taylor Lane now involved in this. Taylor wants a piece of the action in what my co-commentator and good friend Peter Mackay would call the Cherry Cola Fiercely Forward car, the Fiercely Forward GSI machines. They certainly do look good. If you haven't seen their TCR car, go and have a look at that as well in the Simracersworld TCR series, which we actually raced here on Tuesday night. What a great looking car. We do love the liveries of Fiercely Forward here at Simracersworld TV. Now Ross Nicholson, he's trying to dig something out of the splitter of Ryan James's car by the look of it. Oh, flipping heck, he really is trying it. It's like a toothpick down the inside. Trying everything. But look at this, man. What can you say? If you want to open an account in your championship in a very good way, watch what Arthur Fry has done this evening, everybody. Phenomenal pace. Great consistency. And Fat Send Engineering, one of my favourite team names and liveries. I have to say my favourite livery in the series, are about to get their first win of the season. Arthur Fry, put your hands together, everybody. Beautiful performance. Bart Daleman is going to take second place. Alex Jonsson's just behind in third. Then it's Kevin Zemstra. Ross Nicholson has come to strife as well. The Sim Stickers cars all over the grass. And look at this into the last corner. Ashley Beard's been had off by the two Fiercely Forward cars. Who's going to get the run to the line? Is it going to be Taylor Lane? He's just going to beat Van der Plat across the line. Fantastic stuff by Taylor. I want to see how that changed at the end as well, in all fairness. So, oh, this was even the lap before. Apologies. It hasn't even come up on here. Wow. So there's the incident before. Where is it, boys? Oh, it's not going to give us it. Apologies. Oh, here you go. So Van der Plat goes down the inside, in towards the chase. Ashley Beard has to defend the inside for the chicane. Onto the brakes they go. Van der Plat round the outside. Look at that. And then the two of them are slowed by that. Taylor Lane finds the gap. That was fantastic opportunism by Taylor. He only had one corner to go, and he was third in this battle. Carried some amazing pace around the outside. His teammate gave him some good room despite clipping the curb, and Taylor just beats him to the line. Beautiful stuff. Amazing, amazing racing again from the Simracersworld Formula 3 Series. But what can you say about Arthur Fry? What a lad. Great evening. One of the best ways you can open a championship. I said all last season how quick and how exciting Arthur was to watch. And he's done it again. He has done it again. Robbie Carendorf is about to come across the line and complete the race for us, which means any second. Here you go. Your results then. Arthur Fry wins not just that race, but the evening. It's a good night if you've got number 2 in your car number. Bart Daleman, car 2P2. Good stuff for the SimStickers Simracersworld team. Alex Jonsson, very strong debutant this evening. He's one to watch for the championship as well for Team Alcantech Simulation NHR Esports. Then it's Kevin Zemstra in 4th. Great pace once again. James Forsyke and Ashley Beard make it a fiercely forward GSI sandwich, essentially, with Taylor Lane and Jaco van der Plat being the meat in that. Brian Loynes ends up 9th with Brian James in 10th. A real shame for Ross Nicholson in 11th. Mark Elviota finishes in 12th. Adrian Falcon, your reigning champion, 13th. Can you believe it? Ronald Moons finishes 14th with Nick Shermans behind him in 15th. Ben White ends up in 16th. And then we have Hans Polmans in 17th and Tim Rutten 18th. Behind him was Sammy Venables with Vic de Blick in 20th. Then Robbie Carendorf, the last car on the lead lap. Philip Russell had that incident late on, which meant he finished 22nd. Victor Villas-Santelas, unfortunately, 2 laps down. And Matthew Crisp had what we believe was a wheel failure in 24th. Whoa, well, I knew this was going to be an exciting championship again, but I don't think anybody counted on Adrian Falcon having those issues. But we can just look back to the start of the race. Another beautiful looking grid as well this season, which we're very, very grateful for. And some very striking debutants this season, and one of which, who joins me in the commentary box now, is the man who finished 3rd place overall this evening, Alex Jonsson. I hope I'm saying it right, mate. But what a night you had. That looked like a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was a shit ton of fun, actually. Sorry for cursing.
Well,
it really was. I very much enjoyed that. I basically started practice today, so this was really unexpected, but very good.
Well, I mean, around Bathurst as well, I mean, what a circuit to start the championship with. Did you have a lot of confidence going into this one tonight?
Sorry, I had shut down iRacing there. One more time, please.
Well, I mean, this circuit itself is just very exciting to drive around in these cars, but as you found out, I'm sure, very difficult indeed. Were you confident going into tonight?
Somewhat confident, yeah. I mean, I love Bathurst, hands down, in any car I drive it in, so that did definitely help. But I mean, I had no idea where it was supposed to be, like, where it's supposed to be mid-pack or top, or like, I had no idea, so... Yeah, I mean, overall, very, very happy with it. I wish I could have got the 2nd place, but if Bart wouldn't have had me before the pit stop, I think I could have maybe have it. But it is what it is. Well, still a whole lot of fun.
I was going to say you did very well. You were the highest placed debutant this evening, of course, and certainly made your mark on that. And I do have to say as well, I love those Alcantech liveries. So it's good to see one finally on the grid here in the Simracersworld Formula 3 Series. Now, of course, it's going to feel like a long season as we make our way around the world. Watkins Glen is going to be our next venue. There's obviously going to be a lot of slipstream in there. Do you think that's going to be a bit more mind game based than this circuit was?
I mean, honestly, I wasn't planning on doing all the races at first, but I guess I have to do them now since I'm good in the championship.
Well, if you're enjoying it, why not?
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine it's going to be a lot of strategy there as well. It was kind of a lot of strategy here as well, in a sense, because you had to be like 0.5, 0.6 behind down the straight. Otherwise, you were going to be either you were going to be freight trained or you were going to freight train someone else. So it was kind of, but obviously, Watkins Glen is going to be 10 times worse than this.
Yeah, that's very true. It's easy to lose out, unfortunately, with all of the slipstreaming. There's nothing you can do about it half the time. What do you make about the format? It's very different to a lot of series that you see out there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I love the format. It makes for so much exciting racing because you have race on race on race on race. So it's not like, okay, 2 20-minute races and the same guy just pulls away. Because this is, you keep getting packed together again. So I love this format. Couldn't say anything bad about it.
Really, really glad you do, mate. And well done tonight. Third place is definitely not a bad result at all. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to before you go?
Oh yeah, definitely. First of all, Philip, who helped me engineering tonight. Like he was the saver in the pit stop. The fuel was absolutely spot on, so that was good. And also, obviously, thanks to all the sponsors: Alcantech Simulation, Neiman Racing. Who else do we have on board? Cranfield Simulation, of course. Thanks to all of those.
Smashing
Big thanks
stuff.
to Elbert. Yeah, and obviously thanks to the league admins as well for a great series.
Yeah, it's certainly a lot.
And thanks to you, of course.
Well, thank you, mate.
Don't forget to commentate too.
Oh, it's all good, don't you worry. It's great to speak to you, Alex. Well done, and I look forward to seeing you on track next time round.
Certainly. Thanks
Cheers.
at night.
Thanks, bye. Alex Johnson, what a top guy. Top guy indeed. Apologies for the language, everybody, but I mean, most of you watching, you know how exciting this gets and how much fun it is to race in something like this. You know, Alex is just on a right high right now, and I do not blame him. Somebody that I do, speaking of the word blame, I blame Bart for everything when something goes on in this championship, but nothing really bad to say about this evening. That seemed like a load of fun, mate.
Yeah, next time I should practice the pit lane, because I lost a second there. But yeah, it was great fun, great racing. Alex is fast, very fast. He was a fierce competitor, but very clean. From my perspective, all races were very clean. Made one mistake in heat 2. When I was better than Crisp, hit the last from I think Murray corner. I hit the curb and then I went out. So, but yeah, overall, good evening for me. Second place, and Falcon had issues. I didn't know, I didn't see it, but when I saw in that he was in the Consolation, I was like, oh, this is a chance to take some points.
Yeah, definitely. It was a bit of a topsy-turvy evening for Adrian, unfortunately, but like I said in the broadcast, that just spices up the championship even more. He's already on the back foot. What do you make of Arthur, though? I mean, we knew Arthur was quick last season, but that was a dominant performance tonight.
Yeah, Arthur was always very fast, but he lacked consistency, and today he was consistent. I saw the incident he had with Falcon, I think, which was not good. And yeah, but he was very consistent today and very fast. I was taking a little bit of time back in the cutter, but then in the forest elbow he was running away with, so we stayed a little bit in the same distance. But yeah, he will be a competitor for the season if he keeps the consistency.
He certainly will be, mate. And Watkins Glen next time round, we know it's a lot of fun racing there in pretty much anything you go in. Are you feeling confident about that one?
Well, it will be a lottery with the draft, so you have to be a little bit lucky and smart with the overtakes. So there is it's without the bus stop, so it's a long straight to draft. So yeah, we'll see. I really like the track. I drove it for the World Cup for Belgium. That didn't go very well because the competition was very fierce. It was even Herbigno was like only 9th or something like that.
Wow.
And yeah, that was I think I ended 17th or something. But yeah, it's a beautiful track to race on, and very rewarding with this car.
Yeah, it certainly will be a lot of fun, mate. Well done again. Thank you again for putting on this fantastic championship, to you and your invisible team behind the scenes of admins. But obviously, you know the question by now. Do you want to give anybody a quick shout out before you go?
Yeah, you for setting this up. Also, today you did all that work. I helped you a little bit because I know how much it can be.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, your broadcast is always amazing, so we'll be looking forward to watch back.
Cheers,
and
mate.
I want to thank my stewards team. They will have a tough job this season, which is not always rewarding because the drivers sometimes don't like the decisions, but it's what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful that they want to do it, because if you reach out to other drivers and you ask would you want to be a steward, almost nobody says no because they know it's a difficult job. So thank you to them, and thanks to all my I like Matthijs. Matthijs is is my assistant and my first slave for helping me. So yeah, thanks to him.
Awesome stuff, mate. Well, great to speak to you as always, Bart. Well done again tonight, and we'll see you at Watkins.
Yeah, see you at Watkins.
Cheers. And one more interview to tag on this evening is Paul Godden, and unfortunately not out in that final race tonight, Paul, but it seemed like it was just a bit, do you survive, do you not? It certainly looked like a lot of fun though. How did you find it overall?
Yeah, it was a really good fun evening, even though I had a very poor result, but I wasn't expecting anything from this race at all. I love the circuit and I just cannot drive it to save my life. I could do 1,000 laps around here. It was the same in the TCR the other day. Really enjoyable, but yeah, I've got no speed at all. So I was just trying to keep out of trouble. And then in Heat 1, unfortunately, I had a coming together with Nick, I think it was, into turn 2. And it put us both out. So I was starting right at the back for the Consolation race. And that started off not too bad. It was a bit... Being at the back when someone breaks at the front, it's just like the M25, it all builds up at the back, so we virtually stopped. And coming up over the dipper, there was a crash in front of us and I stopped. And I had nowhere to go, and the car just come across and hit my front wing and damaged it. I kept going round, and then on the next lap I turned into turn 2 again, and it just understeered and hit the wall. And as it hit the wall, it hit the curb and spun left into the main wall and ripped the wheel off. So that was it over. So I just sat back and relaxed and watched the broadcast and what the other guys were up to in the race. So
yeah,
overall it looked really good on the broadcast, and the driving standards I think was very, very good. There's a few little incidents, but you're going to get that around here.
Oh yeah, well, that's it. The track owes itself to stuff like that, really. And to be fair, the cars are fragile, but I think that a lot of what this format brings out in drivers is phenomenal. I mean, as you can probably agree from this evening, it's great to watch because it's not just, I mean, as Alex said before, it's not just two 20-minute races and the same people always just clear off. There's so much going on in the mid-pack, and the format of the heats mixes the grid up a little bit. People, if they have a bad night, get put further back and have to work to go forward. It's just got a bit of everything, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's a really good format, and watching that race then with I think it was Falcon. He was coming up through the pack because he had a really bad Heat 1, I think it was. And he would have been right up there if unfortunately he got tagged by Ross, I think it was in the end. But yeah, it was. But I was saying to the guys earlier on that I reckon anyone in the top 10 this season is actually capable of winning a race.
Oh yeah.
Maybe even a little bit higher than that, maybe top 12 to 15. The level of drivers this season is just incredible.
It really is.
It's quite a lot of new people as well, which is really nice to see. So.
Yeah, we've got a very interesting grid indeed, and it's always good to get new drivers in, especially when they've got, some drivers heading near the front, some of them in the middle, some near the back of the field. It just keeps that spread of pace really consistent. I really do love to see it. Of course, Paul, great to see you in the Sim Stickers boys out there again this season, and of course Sim Stickers Simracersworld with Bart Daleman and his teammate. I can't remember which one of them are. There are so many. Ross Nicholson.
It was Ross Nicholson. Yeah, that was Bart approached us just before Christmas, I think it was, if we would do a joint team.
Yeah.
And we decided to go with Ross and him together, just to see how push them through, and then it gives Brian and Wayne a good chance in the hopefully in the second championship. So it should be really interesting to see how they get on, because they've been great rivals and the camaraderie between them is amazing.
Yeah.
So to see them on the same team, it's going to be interesting towards the latter part of the season, I think, watching them.
Yeah, for sure, mate. It really is. Well, thank you again, of course, for coming on board as the series sponsor. We're very, very grateful for it. And, of course, just like everybody else, you get the wonderful question. Do you want to give anybody a shout-out before you go?
Yeah, I'd like to say thanks to SRW for contacting us again about being a sponsor, because, as you know, last season I was going to step down and let someone else come in. But during the off-season we had a good chat and decided that we still hadn't finished with the sponsorship, so we come to an agreement for this season, and really looking forward to working with everyone again. And we've had really great feedback as well from all the drivers that we're back as a full sponsor for the whole season. We've obviously lost a driver, Danny Fenning, but we gained Daniele Guidici. So I'd like to thank all my drivers for try pushing and helping promote the brand as well in this series and some others. And again, the main one for Bart for putting on such an amazing league, and the amount of work he's put in over Christmas, and it's just unbelievable. And he's still got a lot of plans for this season as well, going forward with some nice ideas to help make it look a lot a nice pretty league and stuff like that. So yeah, it should be really interesting. And again, for you for broadcasting it. So when I heard you were broadcasting it again, I was very pleased, because I love watching your broadcasts, and I love driving in them as well. So you capture all the action, not just at the front but throughout the whole field, which a lot of broadcasts don't unfortunately get all that. So.
Well, thank you very much, Paul. Nicely said, mate. Well, great to speak to you again, buddy, and hopefully it goes a little bit better over the rest of the season, and we'll see you next time around at Watkins.
Yeah, will do. Cheers, Chaz.
Cheers, mate. Night.
Thanks, mate.
Paul Godden there, absolutely top bloke of Sim Stickers. Great to have them on board again this season for another sponsorship with us here on Sim Racers World TV, and of course Sim Racers World in general. Really is a good partnership to have. That, unfortunately, though, everybody, is all we have time for this evening. It's been a real joy to begin broadcasting this championship again for its third season now. The Sim Stickers Sim Racers World Formula 3 Series will move on to Watkins Glen in 2 weeks' time, where you'll catch me, Chaz Draycott, as your broadcaster and commentator, and all of the same drivers and maybe some more out on track. But of course, have yourselves a wonderful evening. It's been a real pleasure, as always, and I will see you in 2 weeks' time. Have a nice evening.